All right, this is Eric Core with Punk Glow Magazine, and I'm really happy to be here with the Briefs today. Who are, I think you're recording in Germany, right? Is that where you were recording, or you're in England right now?
Next week.
Okay.
Today we're in Sheffield,
All
UK,
right. And I've
about
got
to sound check.
Steve Enix. Want to wave at the camera,
Correct.
folks?
Hi there.
I've got Sean and Daniel J. Travanti.
Hi.
All right. So, you guys are kind of scattered around the world now. And I know you mentioned you had a drummer that was living in Berlin for a while, and now, um, Daniel, you're living in Spain.
I am. Yeah, I was in Portugal starting 2020 and now in Spain for the last almost 2 years.
Oh, what part of Spain?
Valencia?
Oh, nice, nice.
Yeah.
So you guys are originally from Seattle, so I've got to ask you a question about the Seattle scene, which was were the Gits an influence for you?
Definitely saw the Gits. I mean, I don't know if I really was like,
They were part of the spirit of underground music in Seattle, for sure. Um, I don't like musically, I don't know. They were sure cool though.
I think we were touring so much, and so I don't know if I really saw the Gits a whole lot, but I mean, for sure, they're one of those bands that's really cool.
Yeah, they're one of my favorite that came out of that era and that
I,
location. So yeah, I really like your sound a lot. I like the way it feels like the new album, the new recordings are really bringing us back to the original stuff, where
oh, that's
it
here.
really
Nice.
feels like it just popping right off the songs, and I just love the energy. So you said you've been doing this for 25 years. So where is that energy coming from?
Well, since we're so spread out and we get together a few times a year and do little short tours, we just made it a priority. Every time we get together, we're gonna try to like get into a recording studio and just like make it happen, which requires some effort and planning, and scheduling and all that. Uh, but that's nice to hear that the songs sound reminiscent of the early stuff, I guess. I
Definitely
mean,
a lot of caffeine,
yeah,
Red Bull,
Pilates classes,
junk like that. Yeah.
yoga, not yogurt.
Well, I don't know how many people are going to pick up on the Pilates part, but we can
Punks
get more punks into Pilates, you know.
and Pilates.
I mean, we're conscious of what we like and what sounds cool, and sometimes you don't know in hindsight if you've like strayed a little bit from what's the quality you're shooting for, but we try our best to write a good song and make it sound like the Briefs, and we're doing it now.
And
Yeah.
I think also too, it's like the way that we're doing things is a little bit back to the way that we started doing things. So it's definitely like we're doing it on tape, and I know that's kind of a cliche thing or whatever now, but like we're doing 2 inch tape and we're doing everything live as best as we can, and recording with people that we really really like the stuff in Germany. We're recording with this guy Smile from the Shocks, which was a band that we really loved, um, out of Berlin, and so he's doing all the engineering for us, and I think he's keeping it very honest, you know.
Cool. What were some of the influences that kind of brought you guys to where you are musically?
I
Uh,
mean, for me, it'd be you guys.
edition, but similar influences, right?
Very
Like we all
similar.
we all like the really early Social Distortion a lot, as teenagers,
South Carolina.
listening to that at adolescence, and then like UK, Buzzcocks, Damned, a lot of the usual stuff, and then we're record nerds and like to dig deep with the Killed by Death kind of stuff. But
Vancouver bands, DOA,
yeah, Avengers,
Avengers,
Zeros,
yeah, Pointed Sticks. I mean, a lot of West Coast stuff, I guess.
yeah.
Anything off of like BYO records from
Yeah,
when they first started to even to now.
yeah, for sure. We all watched like Another State of Mind a
Yeah,
lot.
Yeah,
researched that long before I got into the band here
Yeah,
too. And TKO Records got to give them a shout out.
yeah.
yeah.
Very cool. Um, so when you're doing the songwriting where you're all in the different spots, how do you come together and make it happen? Because it's one thing like when you're starting out as a band to pull that energy into that space when you're all collaborating physically, but now you're scattered, but you're still pulling that energy together. So how are you making that work for you?
Dropbox and WhatsApp.
It's the same process. You like, one of us will make a in the like the first record, like I'd record a shitty demo with you know, a metronome and a guitar, and me singing or something, and Dan would do the same. And then you bring the song to rehearsal, and then you show it to the guys, and then we try to like bang it out, and then arrange it. And somebody will say, "What if we do some backing vocals here?" Or "What if we ditch that bridge?" Or it's kind of the same
Yeah,
process.
it gets like fleshed out as we go, but we come in with the bare bones of the idea and sort of sometimes not even really words. A lot of times, at least for me, not words, just more just blah blah blah, blah stuff and melody, and then
Scatman lyrics.
yeah,
But we try out a handful of songs, and like not all of them make it. It's like if it feels exciting and you're like feeling the hook and whatever. If it's got the elements we like, then we make it happen.
we also don't really know how it's going to turn out. So we've got about 10 songs right now that we've never played before that we're going to start practicing on Sunday
Yeah.
and see how it goes when we go into the studio on Tuesday. So it'll be
Are,
interesting.
are you playing live tonight, you said?
Yeah.
Okay, so are you gonna be playing any of those songs just to feel them out in the audience or?
No, I mean, we've really never played them before together
Oh, I see.
at all. So I mean, it's like it's maybe that's what gives it some of the energy. I don't know because it's fucking gonna be super fresh,
Yeah.
So uh, yeah, whatever happens in the studio, it'll be a surprise. Hopefully, it's good.
I mean, as a fan too, I'm like, I get to hear these new songs myself. I'm stoked to hear them.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm excited to hear what you guys come up with because it's your albums are kind of like earworms from start to finish, and in a really
oh,
fun way because they just kind of pop, and it's like a lot of bands I get bored after a song or two, but you just keep that energy flowing, which is something I really enjoy. So I appreciate it.
thanks.
Um, so yesterday was May Day, which started in America, which we don't really celebrate much here, but it's big in Europe and around the world. Just curious, were there any big protests going on where you were or anything happening?
Not that we were able to see. It's kind of typical for being on tour. All you really see is the van and the venue, and then you leave. And so we know things were going on here in the UK with some elections,
Mhm.
apparently, that did not go well. But I, I don't, I don't even think I've seen the news at all or had a chance to look. You know, you may know better than we do, unfortunately.
Yeah, our road manager, he's kind of just been the one who keeps us up to date on a few things, but it's just been back of the van, looking out of the countryside, and then on to the next venue.
Yeah.
It's probably a good space to be in right now because I'm spending too much time looking at the news.
It's not bad.
Yeah. I
So
haven't turned a TV.
Yeah,
yeah,
I have like no
scrolling than doom
I'm just
scrolling.
yeah, no doom scrolling over here. There's no connection for it.
No, we had May Day marches yesterday, but like they couldn't even organize the May Day marches properly. So there were like multiple marches happening. So nothing looked that big because people were still so scattered. So
Uh,
it's kind of like
so
there's
that's
resistance, but it's confused. So
right.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's maybe not the best look right now. It's good people turned out though.
yeah, no, it was nice to see people there, and definitely the energy was there, and I think people are just experience resistance in a lot of different ways right now.
Yeah, all over.
Yeah. So,
People are
um,
pissed.
yeah, no, it's a strange time, but I'm glad that you guys have found a place where you can be where you're getting like just little drips of it in. So, do you feel like any of this stuff is influencing any of the current stuff you're writing, or?
I do. I mean, I feel like some of the stuff I'm writing is really dark and kind of more fucked than normal. So I'm thinking that's probably part of the reason, it's creeping in through that. It's hard not to have it affect what we're doing, because it's so super wacky, you know, and especially is like living in Spain for me and kind of watching this stuff filter in through, you know, Spanish media and the people around me. It's a pretty, I think in some ways, maybe a different take than what's going on in the States, but I haven't been to the States since Trump's been reelected, I think. So, yeah. So curious what that'll be like when we go back in a couple weeks.
Yeah. Well, for you, maybe not for me.
Yeah.
For us.
And we just did a festival here in Oakland in the East Bay, and we had bands from Germany and England in there for that. And one of my German's friends said, "So how does it feel to be living in a fascist country? I've never experienced that." So fuck you. But it's true. Like we've arrived, right? He's like, but I know they're really afraid of what's happening over there too. So
Yeah.
It's all over, man. It's pretty uh and it's just it's happening in real time and it's sort of just you know it's like a slow moving disaster and I don't think anybody like you said it's not super well organized resistance wise so it's I hope we can figure things out a bit better you
yeah.
know
I think for a lot of people, there's just so many things happening at once, it gets overwhelming. And
exactly
but with that said, is I think we're going to see a lot of great art showing up.
Right. Hopefully, bigger.
Tends to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think that's often what inspires things like that. Um, so I was talking to Ginger Coyote about the interview a little bit, and one of the things she brought up was your version of The Kinks Come Dancing. I don't know if she's told you guys this, but she played it for Ray and Dave Davies of the Kinks, and they loved it.
wow
Know that.
But she
how'd
was
that
wondering if you've
go
ever had a chance to talk with them about it.
No, I'd love to meet either one of those cats, but
wow what what happened
Uh,
they,
Ginger's good friends with Dave Davies, and just reached out to them and say, "Hey, there's this really great song, and I want you to hear it." And
right
played it for them, and they were like, "This is awesome." So thought it was really fun.
oh okay that's Chris the drummer that sang on that so I'll have to pass that compliment along because he'll love that you know that's thanks for that
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, it was a Sub Pop Records like Kinks covers compilation, and we had to pick a song, and that was kind of an odd choice, right? It's not very rock, but I think we were trying to like do maybe an oi type spin on
it had like a
it.
pretty familiar chord progression to
Yeah.
it, so you know, it's like it made sense. I
Yeah.
think, and yeah, thanks.
yeah. I didn't realize you guys didn't know that,
No,
so
we love the Kinks though, for sure.
I was hoping that would be the case. Yeah, she said she saw you back in Alex's bar a few years back with, I think she said the Stitches. Do you remember a show like that?
Yeah, I mean, we try to play with the stitches pretty often, so for sure that happened.
Yeah, she said that was a really fun show.
Cool.
So yeah, she really enjoyed that one a lot. So when you come back to the States, where should people expect to see you?
We're playing in Seattle. We're playing Olympia, uh, May 22nd, I think.
May 22nd.
And then May 23rd, we're playing in Seattle. And May 24th, we're playing in Seattle. We're doing 2 nights at like a tiny all ages dive bar,
Cool.
as opposed to a regular club. We usually just like play one of the regular clubs, but yeah, we're changing it up. And then we're playing punk rock bowling.
2 shows at Punk Rock Bowling, actually. Doing
Yeah.
that Sunday show and then pool party on Monday.
Nice. Are you coming into the Bay Area or LA at all, or?
Not on this trip, but I think you know later in the year or early next year for sure.
Cool.
So yeah, we were just in San Francisco, what in November,
I lose track.
October maybe.
Within the last year, for sure.
Yeah,
Where did you play when you were here?
Bottom of the hill.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. That's one of my favorite venues.
Yeah, I mean it's a great spot. So uh bottom of the hill, and then I think from there we went down to Alex's bar. Played there, San Diego, somewhere.
The Casbah.
Yeah, all the classic sort of you know.
Yeah, we took a great band with us on tour for that last run called Fan Club out of Seattle. I don't know if you've heard of them,
I
Yeah.
haven't heard
but
of them. No.
worth checking out. Great,
All right,
like young.
cool. Is that a newer band or is that kind of a people
Yeah, they used
band
to
that
be
have
called
been?
Nightfall, but then they got afraid of being sued or something and changed their name to Fan Club. But yeah, worth checking out for sure.
Really
Oh,
good live band too. Super
definitely.
active.
And we just played with some really good bands last night too. They're also relatively new and younger over at it was in
Bristol.
Yeah.
A band the Love Six and another band called Quick Romance. Really phenomenal performances by both of them. Great singer too.
Nice. What are you guys listening to these days?
A little bit of Miles Davis, you know. Just put him on. Want to wrap myself up in my robe, pour myself a nice Chianti, and just ignore the rest of the world.
Uh, Helicopters.
Really?
Oh shit!
Yeah, those like, yeah, not the newer stuff as much, but I really like that band.
I'm trying to think. I'm one of those guys that walks in the record shop and forgets what I'm there to get. But I mean, a lot of the typical stuff, new stuff. I mean, I like that Viagra Boys stuff. We're gonna try to see them when we're in Berlin, so I'm curious to see that band. I mean, because they're pretty weird, and
Yeah,
I appreciate weird. You know,
I mean,
I don't know. I mean, I listen to stuff all across the boards, I think, but definitely all the old classics.
mhm.
Tales of Terror, I've been listening to a lot. Actually, that's San
Nice.
Francisco.
That's an old San Francisco band.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. Tales of Terror was super interesting to me and kind of fun, and pretty rad. So
I've been pretty stoked on New Bomb Turks being a lot more active lately. Hopefully, they decide to do something down in Florida. Probably won't, but I think they have a data punk rock bowling that we're going to be missing. So I don't know. Maybe our paths will cross at some point. But I've been stoked to listen to them a
we
lot more.
we just saw. Speaking of cool, you made me think of the adverts. We just saw Gay
Oh yeah,
Advert. She came to the show in London, and that was really neat.
that was
So
really fun.
listen to adverts.
Yeah,
Very cool.
Yeah.
Cyanide Pill.
Sign on pills.
Cyanide
Yeah,
Pills. Another great, fantastic band.
Cyanide pills?
Yeah,
All right, where are
they're
they
based.
from?
They're from
Those
London,
are Leeds.
Leeds.
Okay. Well,
That too. That's one of our favorite new tunes. I don't know if you heard it.
what's that? What is
It's
it?
We're in the office at the
Electronica.
venue. There's a fax machine going off
It
or
is the
something.
fax, isn't it?
No,
Yeah.
it's funny when you said helicopters. Like when we were on the march yesterday, there were helicopters flying all around. There were sirens everywhere, people beating drums. But then there were random things like some guys walking past us with a flute. And I was actually really getting off on the music of protest because there was something so cool about like just all these sounds coming together and like the feet going, and there's a rhythm to it that. So that's what I was thinking when you said helicopters. I'm like, yeah, helicopters make a great sound, but I didn't realize you were talking about the band Helicopters.
Yeah,
Both.
both.
So yeah, I saw the Viagra Boys a couple times. I think you're gonna enjoy them.
Hey, you like it?
Oh, I think they're a great band. Yeah. Uh,
Yeah.
just really, I love the lyrics. I love the bass driving the music, and
Mm.
I love the disco twist.
Right.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
a kind of a fun. You know what it reminds me of though is it reminds me of the Stranglers' No More Heroes album.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like if that
Love.
album was going to have a baby 30 years later, it would be the Viagra Boys.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
could see that.
yeah. That's probably a really nice compliment to them too. But yeah, uh, love the Stranglers. So if it's anywhere like that, I mean, it'll be cool.
Yeah, well, the show I saw was pretty special because the singer of the Viagra Boys actually grew up in San Francisco in San Rafael, which is just north of it. So his
Yeah.
family was there and his friends were there that he grew up with, and it was a really
Oh,
intimate, personal show. So it was kind of fun that way.
what venue?
The Independent, I don't know if you know that one. It's
Okay, cool.
it's a
It's
nice
pretty
venue.
big. Into the Independent, I think once it's huge, yeah, or pretty big.
It's decent sized, yeah. Yeah, the first time I saw him there, the second time I saw him was at the Regency Ballroom, which is if you ever get asked to play there, asked to play somewhere else because it's a ballroom and it's not meant for loud music. And
Right.
everything just turns into a wall of noise.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
because we've got
That's
great venues in the city, and that's definitely not one.
yeah. We played some good venues in San Francisco. I'm thinking way back to we played the Fillmore once, I guess. Like
Oh, that's
a long
Yeah,
time.
it was
I
like
was
the
like,
Thrasher Magazine Skater of the Year party.
oh, it was great.
Yeah,
It was
it was
super
good.
fun. Yeah. There was like people, some sort of riot. The police came, I think, or as I recall, and there was food.
There's a job well done at that point.
Yeah, no, it was good.
We played with Slater Kenny at the Great
The Great
American Music Hall.
American, yeah.
Oh, that's
That
one
was
of the
cool.
best venues in the whole city.
That place sounds really, really good, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then like just like the covered wagon and cool.
Stinky's Peep Show.
Oh, the covered wagon. Oh
Yeah.
my God, you're going way back on that one.
I mean, we've been a band a long time now, so we played
25 years.
yes. But covered wagon was really, really cool to play actually. Yeah, Stinky's Peep Show. Did you ever go to that?
Oh yeah, yeah. One of my friends was one of the dancers there. She actually
Oh,
sang oh, Liz, she sang in the White Trash Debutantes for a while.
right, cool. I don't know her, but that was really fun seeing.
Yeah, no, that was a I'd forgot about that. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Oh, we also did Incredibly Strange Wrestling too. Did you ever go to that?
No, but I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think like Blag was the announcer or something, and yeah, they throw a lot of tortillas, you know, while you're playing. It's pretty wacky.
Hmm. Burritos.
So
The whole interior of the venue is covered with flour, just
yeah,
all over the
I mean
place.
it's nonstop. They give everyone tortillas, so while you're playing, it's raining tortillas. It's pretty amazing. It's a blast. Yeah.
Hopefully we can get something good and weird for you the next time you come here. So we'll have to figure out
Cool.
what we got going on.
Preferably poor and weird.
Yeah.
Hey,
That's a
New guy Joe.
Knee slapper.
New guy Joe. Hey, since we're talking about San Francisco and I guess East Bay too, what's the good spot to play now? Like that's kind of small, not the Great American or
More like on
whatever,
a personal level, yeah.
Yeah,
like
I mean, there's a lot of great places. I mean, the classic all ages venue that everybody wants to play is Gilman Street.
we,
Um,
we played
but
Gilman or
yeah,
yeah.
which is yeah, I think it's better for younger bands right now than it is for more established bands. Eli's is a really great place in Oakland.
Okay, is that the same as the Stork?
No, the Stork Club is another spot that's good. We
Okay.
just played at a place called the Church of the Buzzard.
Church of the Buzzard.
Yeah, if you want to go there, reach out to me and I'll connect you guys. So
We want to go there. I mean, because like I think it's great to play bottom of the hill, for instance, and stuff like that. But I think always playing the same venue sort of gets a little static feeling, right? So if we
yeah.
can go and play Church of the Buzzard, I mean, the name alone says we should go.
It's
So
very cool. So basically it's an artist live work warehouse space
cool.
and which we used to have tons of out here, and this is one of the few remaining.
Right? Yeah, real estate, I guess, is expensive.
It's nuts, yeah. But I think it's bad in Seattle too, isn't it? Or just
yeah,
not as
yeah.
bad.
I think it's terrible all over.
Yeah, it's bad in Spain.
Midwest might be kind of hanging in there for now, but Florida ain't no good down there either.
Yeah, everybody gets pushed out further and further out, right?
So eventually the
Uh,
whole music scene will be in Nebraska or something. What's that?
Yeah.
Right.
our tour manager just poked his head in and said, which means we're supposed to go sound check in like 5 minutes.
Oh, I
Oh,
thought that meant Bullwinkle.
No,
Yeah.
but he was giving us a heads up.
It's okay though. I think what time is it? We're all right.
We're all right.
doing okay on time?
I think we should be okay for now.
we got a grace period.
Yeah, well, let me know
Yeah.
when you're coming out this way, and I'll try and work out something for you guys there because that's a fun spot. Are there things I haven't talked about that you really want to talk about? just want people to know about, or
I mean,
Check out our recent releases. We just put out a brand new 7-inch hospital elevator. And last just 6 months ago or less, we put out High Society, both 7 inches on TKO, and you can like go online and stream them too. But yeah, we're happy with the stuff, and just, we're playing shows, we're putting out records, just being a band.
yeah, the stuff has super great energy. I mean, I mentioned that before, but I'm really enjoying it. So I'm glad that you guys are sticking with what you've been doing and really finding a way to keep that energy going despite living all over the place.
I'll mention this just because it seems kind of pertinent, like with where the band's at. Like we came over to the UK last December and we're playing like much bigger venues, supporting Me First and the Gimme Gimmes, and now we're playing like proper like small venue punk shows, and it's so much more fun. And like nothing against Me First and the Gimme Gimmes at all. Great people and stuff, but there's a barricade, and then maybe there's 1,000 people, but it just wasn't very fun. And we're having so much fun playing the shows at the dinky little punk clubs. It's just like it's our scene, and it's really refreshing. It's fun.
It's more fun when the audience is like right there up in your face and can actually interact with them and see them, as opposed to just behind a barricade and like we're the band and you're the audience. Usually when the songs are going within the halfway the first song, everyone's just on the same page in each other's faces, and I think that's just where these guys tend to thrive the most, myself included too.
it just feels more comfortable.
Yeah.
It's less on display and more just being a band.
Yeah. Don't like being put on a pedestal.
That's what we're used to. And I don't think we really have a choice either. Let's face it. In the UK, we don't really, it's not like we could do 1,000 on our own or anything like that.
Right.
So, we go to London and we pull in 180 or, maybe 200 if we're lucky. And it just feels wonderful, So, like, I'll take that all day long.
Yeah.
Nice. It makes me think.
I still love it.
Do you know the band The Chats from Australia?
I know of them. Yeah.
Yeah,
Australian band, yeah.
I saw them play a few months ago, and it was at a club that was a theater venue. And the whole time they were playing, I was thinking this would be so much fun in a club that held a couple hundred people,
Yeah, it's weird.
because it didn't work with their energy. So I totally know what you're saying there.
Yeah. It's not Smoko energy.
Well, if people want to reach out to you guys and get in touch with you, what's the best way for them to do that? Any social media links that you want to promote, or?
Yeah, I mean, it's probably Instagram. I don't even think we're not super great at it.
We look at Instagram. I don't think we look at
Yeah.
Facebook, but
Yeah, that's why they hired me. I'm managing on the platform now. It's kind of my job.
So what the Instagram handle would just be the briefs?
Just at the
It
briefs.
is just the
Yeah.
briefs, yeah. I
Okay.
think.
That way people want to find it, they can find that.
Right.
And we do look at it, we do write people back and we appreciate it and all that kind of stuff. So it's not like we just delete it or,
No, it gets
we
saved.
actually reply. Yeah. For better or
What
for
happens in the back of the van while you're driving through the country?
exactly.
Yeah.
kind of, yeah. We were just making this horrible. We walked into the venue. I'll just tell you quickly. We walked into the venue, and it's a punk venue,
At the lug hole.
and there was a coffin, this kind of homemade coffin they were using, I
It's
guess,
a real coffin.
as a table. They were using it, and we're like, oh, let's film something really stupid to this coffin. So we like tried different things, and now we put Steve in the coffin and then did like this little promo for the 7-inch. It's totally ridiculous, but
Gave it the Sam Raimi
you'll
treatment.
see it.
You'll
I'll
see
check
it.
it out.
For better or for worse, it's there.
Since joining, I think the idea is, all right, start making more goofy videos for these guys.
No. The world needs more of that right now, for sure.
Yeah, that's why we're here.
No, I appreciate what you're doing, and I hope we get another 25 years of it. So
Yeah. Hey, thanks for making this work out with us. I know scheduling was a little tricky.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, thanks a lot.
yeah, but I'm glad it worked out, and look forward to seeing you guys when you come through the Bay Area.
Okay, and tell Ginger we're in the process of getting her written interview answered.
Okay, cool. I'll
I'll
let
take
her
a few days. deadline.
And seriously, what's the name of the venue you mentioned again? You just played?
Church of the Buzzard.
Church of the Buzzard.
Church of the Buzzard. Okay, I think that sounds really really good. So
Yeah, it's just an independent. It's literally a live workspace, but was incredibly fun.
cool.
Uh, but well, cool. Well, thanks, guys.
All right. Thanks, Eric.
Nice to meet you, Eric.
All right, y'all take care.
All right.
Okay, man.
Bye.
See you, man.